Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with Jake Carter, a former US Marine, waking up and preparing to face the day. After getting ready, he picks his weapon and heads out to the workplace, employed at Hawthorne Global Security. At the airport, Jake and the other security officers wait for the arrival of the informant, who goes by the name Liv Tanis. Jake is greeted by Robert Daniel, the leader of the organization, who offers his congratulations on his accomplishments and the medals he has earned. Given that this is Jake's first mission, it is imperative he makes a solid show. Following the landing of the airplane, he runs into his former lieutenant when he was in the Marines. He learns that the lady they are tasked to safeguard, Liv, is in possession of information that is essential to the arrest of the leaders of a firm known as Genesis, which is being indicted for fraud and other unlawful actions. As soon as Liv steps off the flight, she reveals herself to be a challenging person to interact with, which prompts the lieutenant to request that the soldiers exercise even greater caution around her. While they are driving, Liv and Jake start arguing, completely unaware of the impending peril that is about to confront them. As they are on their way to Liv's custody, suddenly a rocket launcher fires at the car in front of their SUV. They start to back up, but the rocket launcher fires at the last car in line. A group of goons start shooting at the car Liv is in, and Jake tells everyone to get out. A brutal shootout ensues between the goons and the security guards. Jake protects Liv, and manages to eliminate several goons. Suddenly, Liv tries to escape the incident, running into the woods, but Jake chases her to protect her from the other mercenaries. Next, the mercenaries, together with a sniper, kill all the security guards one by one. Then the leader of the mercenaries, Vogel, orders them to search for the girl. Liv is confronted by two mercenaries in the woods, but Jake shoots them after one of them informs the others that he has found her. Jake tells Liv to stay with him, but she is apparently suspicious. Meanwhile, the mercenaries continue to search the forest for them. Jake tries to contact the others, to no avail. Suddenly, the mercenaries start shooting, but Jake grabs Liv, and they run away. The two manage to lose the mercenaries by stealing their car, and head for a shelter. As soon as they arrive at the residence, he conducts a thorough search, to ensure there are no strangers hiding inside. When they are safely within, Liv abruptly pulls out her revolver, and points it in his direction. He insists that if she goes to the police station on her own, she will be ambushed, despite the fact that she states that she does not trust him, because she doesn't know him personally. He manages to persuade her that he is a former Marine, and he will not let her go, since doing so would result in failing the mission. Following a pause, she hands him the gun. While this is going on, Vogel checks out Jake's profile, and reports to his men that he and the girl are now alone together. Next, while Liv is cleaning herself in the bathroom, Jake packs his guns, because they need to find a new spot to hide now that they've been discovered. He notices on one of the surveillance cameras that a vehicle is heading in the direction of the hideout. It has come to light that two security officers working for the Justice Department, Nathan and Ethan, were able to miraculously flee from the mercenaries, without suffering a single wound. Now that he has more information, Jake realizes that he cannot put his faith in them, so he begins to question them. After Nathan has provided information about Vogel and the incident, Ethan abruptly shoots him in the head, claiming there is a traitor among them. So Jake has finally come to the conclusion that Ethan is collaborating with Vogel. During the course of events, the terrified Liv witnesses the entire situation, and quickly gets a weapon. After that, Ethan pulls out his revolver, and threatens Jake, demanding he reveal the location of Liv. He claims he hit her because he anticipated that the betrayer would come to this location. As he tries to distract Ethan, Liv runs away from the house, setting off the security alarm. Ethan is distracted, and Jake attacks him. The two fight fiercely, and Ethan attempts to attack Jake with a knife. As they fight, the mercenary group arrives at the house. Jake runs outside as the mercenaries try to shoot them. He takes Liv's gun and eliminates a couple of the mercenaries. Later, they manage to escape using a boat. After leaving the boat, the two walk across the creek. Jake realizes that the mercenaries will not stop until they manage to kill Liv. The girl claims she can ruin their lives, which is why they are pursuing her so desperately. She reveals that she has information about a company named Genesis, which was the cause of the deaths of two U.S. Armed Forces teams. As he prepares to resume his journey, suddenly, she hits him with a rock to the head. After he loses consciousness, she runs away. In the process, a mercenary finds Jake and Liv's boat, but they are not around. Liv runs into the street, then hitchhikes, and the truck driver picks her up to go to the police station. Having recovered, Jake follows the trail left by Liv. He sees a passing police car. Knowing the direction of the police station where Liv is headed, he steals a nearby car, and follows the police car. At the police station, Liv complains that a group of men are trying to kill her. Soon, Jake arrives at the police station and looks for her, but a police officer takes his papers and orders him to wait. Meanwhile, Liv tries to explain what is happening to her to the police detective, Redman. The detective approaches Jake and says they will take over the case. Liv senses that something is wrong and tries to leave, but is stopped by an officer. Soon, Redman is called by Ethan, who claims that Jake Carter is involved in Liv's attack and that he is considered an extremely dangerous individual. Ethan claims that he works for the government and asks him to arrest Jake and Liv and turn them over to him. As a result, the agents arrest both of them. Later, Ethan and the other mercenaries arrive at the police station. Vogel prepares to go inside with his men, but Ethan says he will go in alone and do things cleanly. So he enters the police station and asks to speak with Redman. However, Vogel and his men go inside and start killing all the surrounding officers and employees. Jake steals the handcuff key from the dead officer and also frees Liv. He grabs a gun and manages to kill some mercenaries. He takes Liv outside and tells her to contact the Attorney General, while he goes back inside and helps the agents take down the mercenaries. Soon, the agents run outside while Jake covers for them. The 4 remaining officers, who are trying to escape, are killed inside the police car. Vogel then fires at Jake with a grenade launcher, stunning him. Jake immediately escapes outside and kills 2 mercenaries. Soon, Liv appears in a car and takes Jake with her. The 2 manage to escape, but the mercenary convoy follows them. Vogel continuously fires at Jake and manages to hit him in the arm. After the ensuing shootout during the chase, Jake shoots the driver ahead of him, blocking the way for Vogel's men in the tunnel. Jake and Liv stop in a forest because the car's engine has overheated. The mercenaries find their car, and Vogel says they should follow them on foot. However, Ethan says it would be better to wait until the next morning. During the night, Liv tends to Jake's wound. She apologizes for not believing him, but he tells her not to worry. Then she gives him the access code to the file with the information against Genesis, in case they kill her. They keep walking around, looking for a signal, so they can contact the Attorney General, but to no avail. The next morning, Jake tells Liv to go outside the forest, to find the road and escape. However, she says she wants to stay with him, and fight against the mercenaries. Next, we see the mercenaries carefully walking through the forest, in search of the 2. Ethan receives a message from the leaders of Genesis, who insist that Vogel kill Liv as soon as possible. Suddenly, Jake contacts Vogel through the radio, and they start talking. This is his strategy to distract Vogel. Soon after he shoots a couple of mercenaries in the head with a sniper, a shootout ensues. He starts running away, as the mercenaries follow him, luring them into his trap. Liv also starts shooting, and the mercenaries shift their attention to her. They begin to follow her, falling into her trap. Jake manages to surprise them from behind, killing them in perfect silence. Next, we see Liv running away from a mercenary, who falls into a trap set by Jake last night. At last, Jake and Liv reunite, and flee together from Vogel and his men. They stop for a moment, but one of the mercenaries spots them, and starts shooting. Another chase follows, during which Vogel is about to be killed by a trap set by Jake. Instead, the trap kills a member of his team, but he says they must keep looking for them. Nevertheless, Ethan thinks this is a bad idea, since Jake could have set traps all over the place. Meanwhile, Liv and Jake continue to escape. Jake covers Liv as she runs away, and they split up. Shortly after, another mercenary is violently killed by Jake's trap. After a few moments, a female mercenary finds Jack, and attempts to disarm him, but hand-to-hand combat ensues. Jake gets the woman killed using her as a shield against another mercenary. Suddenly, it turns out that Ethan has found Liv, and taken her hostage. She hammers his hand and runs away. Thus, Jake and Ethan begin to fight. As Ethan gets the upper hand, and strangles Jake, Liv shoots Ethan in the head. Suddenly, Vogel shoots Jake in the shoulder, stunning him and knocking him unconscious. Liv is subsequently ordered by Vogel to follow, but on the way, she reveals she has already published all of the information regarding Genesis on the internet. Vogel wields his weapon, and strikes her in the head with it. Instantly, Jake pounces on him, and engages in a confrontation with him. The conflict between them begins, and Vogel ultimately emerges dominant. Jake, on the other hand, is able to surprise his opponent, and ends his life, snapping his neck. The next day, before boarding the plane, Liv meets with Jake, and tells him that 6 individuals associated with Genesis Defense Corporation have been indicted for treason and conspiracy. After giving him a tuxedo, she plants a passionate kiss on his cheek, and boards the aircraft. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe us for more videos.